there just like flashed onto me. I was just like,
Yep. All right. Hello and welcome to the MegaMonsterCast, where apparently we are starting our conversations off with ticks today. I am Nick. With me are Alex and Josh.
Yeah.
hi.
Hello there. You didn't have to canonize it. You could have cut that.
No, well,
Oh,
unfortunately,
Oh,
he got me when I got to the one. So,
yeah, which I thought was utterly absurd, but okay.
yeah. Anyway,
You do you, Josh.
this week we are talking about episode 10 of Ultraman G'd. So I held my tongue last time we were recording. Alex, this episode does like a lot of the
he
things
won't do
that
it.
you really enjoy. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, because it pushes that
Absolutely.
like more of the cast are involved in the G'd identity secret or the Zero identity secret. It also,
Yeah.
again, we talked about like the balancing act of it right when you feel like you're missing out on the AIB, the Men in Black characters, it brings them in for an episode.
Yep. I completely agree. They've done a really good job at balancing my expectations.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see if they continue to do so.
I mean, I think you're going to be pretty satisfied because at this point, by the end of this episode, most characters know who most of the other characters are. Again, technically, Moa still doesn't know who Zero is. Technically, I can never remember the name of this character. I'll remember it by the end of the next episode, but her partner knows who Zero is, but not who Jeed is. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he also an alien?
Yeah,
Isn't
he
that
is.
pretty well established? Like,
Yeah.
He's one of those goat face aliens.
all right.
Yeah. So now we've
He's-
got like everybody is more or less
Skulls,
in
the
on it.
silver face demons.
Yeah. So this episode starts with a character I know that you had some opinions on, Alex.
I think they just introduced her in a way that I didn't appreciate, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way the rest of the episode.
That's fair.
Because I'm a big fan. Viewers of this podcast will know that I'm a big fan of characters who just chew on the scenery, and is introduced and then immediately proceeds to do this very literal chewing on the scene and like actually like looking around the scene, but it's done in such a weird way that I was just like not connecting with this character at all. And then she's written subsequently to be kind of a foil and annoying. So I mean, and she does a good job. So
Oh, yeah.
it's good acting, except for right here. I didn't much like her choice of how she explored the scene.
Yeah, and like the way
Well,
she's
she had to find ways to.
Mhm. Like the way
Which is fine, but like when
Which is
she's
how she
literally
does her
just going
attacks.
like, yeah,
Yep.
that one kind of felt like a Dragon Ball move or something.
Mhm. I also I appreciate though like the way she's written. That's kind of like a Japanese thing where she's like the cute girl,
Oh, definitely, yeah.
and
Hence
like
the da-da-da-da-da-da-da music when she's
Yep.
introduced.
But yeah, so we have our character for the episode, a mind reader alien who can read people's minds by blowing an energy ball kiss to them.
Destructo kiss.
Yeah, right. But it can be rejected and or blocked, as we'll see.
Yep. Especially with Liha just.
That was
Like,
the best part of the episode. She's no.
Yep. So this episode also brings in an alien that I believe, if I'm remembering right, we have seen in one of our episodes before. I think this was an alien they used for Arc, right?
It's very familiar. I couldn't place it, but
I think
You're
it's
talking about the bird guy?
Yeah, I think it's the form it takes before it becomes King of Mons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never get an adult version of it. It's always the child version.
Yep.
Because it was essentially a child in Arc as well.
Oh yeah. We get multiple child versions of it in Arc. But yeah, I think I was pretty sure that was in that episode of Arc, yeah.
Yeah.
So returning design, I think it's used to better effect in this episode than it was in that episode. But I also was very negative on
Yeah.
that episode of Arc, and I think this is, while definitely not my favorite episode of Geed, a much better written episode of Ultraman as a whole.
And as we'll soon find out, we do get a better version of this creature in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's an episode of Arc that I enjoy more than any episode of Geed.
That's fair. I mean,
I
there.
don't mean to be really negative on Arc, but like it was so forgettable. I don't even remember the episode you're referencing.
That's fair. It was like the Redstone episode. We were all really negative on that one. I don't think any of us liked
Yeah.
it. Like that was
Yeah.
a rough sit for us in that episode,
Arc
especially.
will probably be only really relevant when it comes to those Galaxy movies.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna say this. Arc will, like those first 3 episodes of Arc, I think will hold up no matter what, where they were doing all those cool things with the fights, and then they
Mhm.
stopped doing that and it stopped being good. Well, it dropped in quality a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was like like the baseline for quality was lower, and it had violent swings
Yep.
as well.
Yeah. So
There were some good episodes of Arc, but
oh yeah.
like I'm much more enjoying this more cohesive story.
Oh yeah. And the story is, again, the balancing act they do where like all the plates are spinning and the second you feel like one's starting to wobble, they keep it going. Fantastic.
Yeah, they're also like not just serializing the monster of the week. We got quite a bit of character development here, and moving the actual plot along quite a
Mhm.
bit. So
And like even the
it's a good
monster,
episode overall.
like the monster itself tied in heavily with what they were trying to do with the characters this episode, where like, so the monster
Oh yeah,
this week has nothing to do with a little star. We're letting little stars take a backseat this week. We'll get them again soon, but this week it's all focused on space kaiju that's on Earth because it's a little boy that's upset that his crush maybe doesn't like him, and so he's hiding on Earth because he's upset. Oh, all right. Well, you guys froze for me for a second, but you're back.
Oh, you were completely frozen for us.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
You went
To
dark on
recap,
me.
I was saying this episode's about like a little boy kaiju basically who is upset that his girl crush maybe doesn't like him, so he comes to Earth to hide out.
Yes, this is true.
Welcome back 2 weeks later.
So yeah,
No
welcome
wardrobe
back.
change, just a change of scenery.
Yep. Due to some
I went from
technical
this
difficulties with
to this.
Wi-Fi, I had to move to a different room with a landline with a a hard connection instead.
God, can you tell how old we are?
Oh God, yeah. No, every now and then, I remember there was like something I was watching one day, and I heard the dial-up tone in it, and I like
Oh,
had this visceral reaction to the noise.
I know exactly what you mean, man.
Mhm.
I know exactly what you mean. I that's one of those sounds that you'll never be able to unhear. It's like the sound of smacking that red ball that we all had in gym class.
Yep.
You know, the kickball.
Yep.
You know what that sound is, what it sounds like. Absolutely. I know you do.
Oh yeah. No, it's a fucking, like there's just some sounds that are like built into us at this point.
Ah, that was such a big part of my early childhood. When we finally got the internet, you better believe it was dial up.
Oh yeah. Anyway, though, as I was saying, we're gonna cut back to the part I know it cut out on. So our kaiju of this week is on Earth because he's upset that his crush might not like him, and he can't really handle that. So he's there hiding out in his feels, and that's
He's a
what the
little
crux of the
heartbroken.
episode is.
Yeah, they play this one as a character piece.
Mhm. And
The
it
kaiju
ties
is
in with
not important.
Moa's story a lot too, because she
Yes.
also is struggling with that.
Oh, and I said this before, but I have no idea who I'm shipping anymore.
I ship
Having such a hard time.
her and her partner because they're
Sato.
married in real life.
I know that
Oh.
that makes it harder for me to like step back and just watch the show because you told me that. I'm like, well, that's how they should do this.
I mean, like, they have a lot of chemistry despite the fact that he never talks, and there's a reason for that. But anyway, so this episode, we get after the alien girl who can read minds tries to read the mind of the kaiju. It turns into a crystal form and burrows underground because it wants to hide in its feels. All it does this episode is hide, have a tantrum, or cry.
Oh
You're
man.
not sounding very sympathetic, Nick. I just want to
Oh
point
no,
that out.
I again, I like this episode. I like this thing. It's just, I mean, that's what it's doing. It's not being negative, at least. Like,
We all just
it
need a
could be
good cry right now.
far worse than that. There's many directions this could have taken that would have been way more problematic than I'm upset, so I'm gonna hide in my feels.
So anyway, he got real sad and started blasting
Yep.
lasers.
Yeah. So while this thing's hiding, our alien girl decides, you know what? I'm gonna go get an Earth boyfriend because it's the cool thing to do right now. It's the
Because
new
it's
hotness.
trendy.
Yep. She also calls it the new hotness at one point. Yep. Yep. She is.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, she's a character
anyway.
in her early 20s in the year 2017.
Womp womp.
Again, I
I'm
like
gonna
this
be
character
I'm
a
gonna be a
lot.
very insufferable old man. I can already tell.
Oh yeah, no, like that's kind of the point of her character this episode is she's like insufferable, but also like she points out some stuff in like Earth culture that's problematic, like the fact that all these guys she tries to talk to are all have girlfriends, but they lie because they're like, oh, she's really pretty. I could probably get away with this. And every time she reads their minds, she's like, "Ah, you're a cheater. You're lying to me too. Why are all these guys lying to me to try to get what they want?"
Yeah, she's a good lens to for analysis.
Mhm. Um,
And they don't really need to spend a lot of time on it either. It's pretty well played out.
oh yeah, yeah. We get like her interacting with like what 4 guys, one dude who is already with his girlfriend, and he thinks
Why you
about it.
lying her?
Yeah,
He literally did the freaking look back meme.
yep. Which I
Like,
actually really
I mean,
appreciate that.
it was probably consciously done, and that smack that she lays on him was believable.
Oh, it was
Oh,
good.
yeah, that's because they weren't actors.
I would have lost my fucking
That
mind
would've-
if that was true.
That'd be so great.
Hmm. No, this episode's great. Also, I love that she's instantly like, because they like peel off. They're talking. She and Moa are talking to each other, and she's like, "Moa, you have to promise me that you're always going to be honest." Which, of course, she can't keep that promise, and we'll get a part where she can't, like pretty quick. But it sets up immediately that this character values honesty more than everything else, which we find out a little later in the episode is because everyone on her planet can read minds, so there's no point of lying ever, because why would you when you can just read that person's thoughts and know they're lying?
Yeah, it literally serves no purpose.
Yep. But yeah, so then she reads Moa's mind and realizes that she has a crush on someone and that it's one-sided, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that this works for you. I'm gonna be your matchmaker. And she
Oh,
immediately fucks it
wingman.
up.
So fast.
Just immediately fucks it up, which I love the way she fucks it up, where she's like, oh, here's the guy at the shop that you think about. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to him. And hey,
Uh-oh.
do you like Moa? And of course, it's the fucking the shopkeeper, and he's like, I mean, you know what? I'm not against that.
You're like, well, now.
I didn't see this direction, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, plot twist.
At the end of the season, they are together.
You know what? That actually would have been kind of funny. I'm gonna spoil it. That never happens, but that would have been kind of a fun
Would be
take.
funny.
But no, so then Moa runs in and she's like, no, I don't actually like this guy. Please stop telling people this. This is the wrong idea. And even
How
the
was she so far behind? Like,
I think she was
how did
hiding.
how did she lose you?
I think she was hiding in the back.
'Cause she's
Well, that was
fast-
a really bad idea.
Yeah.
fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah, so then Riku shows up and almost immediately Satoko, the alien girl, reads his mind. He's like, oh, you're an alien too. Okay, cool.
Shut up.
Oh god, no. We can't have anyone
Ah.
know this until the end of the episode. Come on.
Where's your sense of building tension?
Yeah. Again, though, I love by the end of the episode we've just kind of done away with it, and now Moa's in on the secret too.
Yeah.
Like, again, it pays off that we're not even at the halfway point, and pretty much the entire core cast knows who everyone else is. Yeah, and then we get that great scene where Satoko tries to read Liha's mouth, and then she's like, "Get the fuck away from me!"
Get the fuck
It bounces back over to Moa, and she's like,
It was
"Oh, this
so
is your
smooth.
rival."
Ooh.
Yeah, and she freaks out like, "You live with Riku," and then we get the whole line about fate. And again, Moa's actress is so good because when he says like, you know, fate, it was fate, she just like starts stumbling a little bit.
That was so good.
Yep. Oh god, like
She is extremely talented.
again, like the entire cast of this one is just like top notch. Like especially with like their physical acting, like they know how to like sell things with physicality.
Yeah,
Like
definitely. I mean, the next scene is literally framed with her just sitting there silently in her thoughts. Like, very good acting.
yep. And then we get Leto being a dad again and trying to talk his daughter through that she doesn't need like the biggest snack. Otherwise, like, oh, like you need to be good, and you know you'll get your Prince Charming. And then Satoko's like, no, that's all a lie. Everyone on this planet lies. You're all liars.
Everybody lies. Everybody lies when they're trying to fuck.
Yep. And then Satoko gets upset when she finds out, like, oh, you guys even lie to kids here? Come on, what's wrong with you people? And Mo's like, well, sometimes you have to lie because, you know, it's nicer to lie to people than to tell them a shitty truth.
I feel like the way she said it, though, she took a little bit too much enjoyment. I feel like from a planet of people that can read minds, that wouldn't be as humorous as it looked like it was.
Mm-hmm.
That would just be, she would have said it a little bit more straight, more clinically.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean,
I
think that's just her personality too. Like, she's clearly like
yeah, and you could have
an
that
over the
point,
top type.
Yeah.
And again, she's on Earth because it's the cool, trendy place to go to, and she wants to absorb Earth culture, and she's trying to be cool and trendy.
Not sure you're gonna like everything you find.
Yep. So yeah, then Moa gets called to deal with our kaiju again, and Riku's like, "Man, you must be really busy working for the insurance company or health department or whatever."
Not very consistent with your story.
Yep. Which again, I'm happy that
Great, yeah.
literally like within a minute of that, we do away with the lie, and now Riku's in on it and knows what she actually does.
Yeah.
Part of me was surprised that we gave up G. Like reciprocally, they found out about each other's secrets really close together. I was like, are we gonna wait to reveal who Jeed is to her? Nope.
No.
We're just done with it.
Yep, no, within like another minute, she knows about
I
him
think it's
too.
more fun this way, anyways.
Oh yeah, no, like, and I think again, it does a really good job of. I don't think that. I know that I get frustrated after a certain point when like the members of the defense force or whatever can't figure out that like their one member is the Ultraman, and
He's
just
always
Yeah,
using the restroom.
Gento and Party.
yeah, I mean they all should have figured it out by some point, but like I appreciate that they just kind of did away with it this episode. Like, okay, and now they just know each other's secrets, and we can explore a new dynamic with these characters now that they're aware of each other. Brings her into the
I think
fold a little more.
You go.
I think that'll be more interesting.
Yeah, and like honestly, it kind of. I feel like all the gimmicks like all the jokes and gimmicks they could have done with them not knowing each other's secrets, they more or less ran through in that one episode about the shitty comedian with the Furby.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so again, they go to the kaiju. Riku finds out all about like
That base.
yeah, all about the organization, about the kaiju. It's a space kaiju, and then they get knocked into the air by its wing beats, and he turns into Jeed in front of Moa to save her.
As they're falling to their death.
Yep, as all
I see
three
he
of them
didn't
are.
take the time to properly do the fanfare to transform until later, but I guess when duty calls.
Yep. Again, now we kind of we're done with like that joke, and again, by the end of the episode, we're more or less done with other characters not knowing who Zero is either.
Yeah.
Which did you expect we were going to get that reveal by the end of the episode too?
With the way the episode was going, by that point, I was like, I guess the only thing is like, oh, never mind.
Yep.
Because I figured Leto would be pretty close by as well, because he's already been revealed to most of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the reasons why I'm more interested in having all of the characters be aware of this is so that they can all be working towards the same goal,
Yep.
and we don't have to have them like split the party. Basically,
Yep.
it
And
can be more dynamic.
yeah, well, and it also like the AIB didn't know whether or not they could trust Jeed. Well, now
Well, at this point, I think that's the question we still have on the table.
Well,
is whether, because it looked to me like Mr. Goldenface
Mhm.
has quite the aggression towards Leto at as his last line that he says seemed a little like, oh, so it's you. You
See-
must be the one I'm hunting for.
You got to remember though,
He might
in the
think
episode.
he's Jeed.
Well, no, he knows the Zero because he
Oh,
says
okay.
it. I think, doesn't he?
I don't think he says
think
it
he does.
outright, but he only
says
knows that he's an Ultra
it's-
because he sees the Ultra device. So
Yeah.
if he knows what Zero's device is, then yeah, he knows he's Zero. Then
Well, and
but he might just think he's any random Ultra. So maybe G.
That's fair.
I don't know.
I can't remember for sure on that one.
We'll see when we get there, I guess.
But like at this point, at least half of the AIB team that we know is like, okay, yeah, no, we can totally trust Jeed. She's not gonna say it for sure at this point, but
which is
like-
why, again, like their resolution in that way makes me think that we would have some tension with the Ultras and the AIB at large, and she would be there as kind of like the one to smooth it out.
Mhm.
Maybe they don't go that route. I don't know. They've done pretty well with the storytelling so far. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to backseat drive.
No, that's dude, I get it. I'm just
Ah.
saying it's kind of fun. Like again, it's good at this point that they've changed up the dynamic. So we have
Yeah.
for
We
the
kinda get the
middle.
best of both worlds, and now we can, like, be settled in to the story and go from here.
Yep. And especially like changing up the dynamic this much, like a little before the midway point is pretty nice.
Yeah.
We're like a little bit over a third of the way through, and now we have an entirely new dynamic with the Earth's defense force. Anyway, though, so
Yeah.
G goes Acro Smasher. His powers don't work on this space kaiju, and Leto comes in as Zero to try to fight. And now the alien girl can read its thoughts, and that's when they learn that it's scared about going back into space because it doesn't know if its crush likes him or not.
Oh,
I've been there. I get it, Bud. Sometimes you just got to try your best, which is what this episode is about in the end. We also get some. I'm not gonna. Pretty soon we get some fun uses of Zero's powers, which we're not really gonna get again, but it was a cool take on them.
I just hope he's not just a Chekhov's gun.
yes. I mean, yes, he is.
hmm I also love though that he has to turn into Zero Beyond to do all these things to send it back to space.
Because only Beyond can do the bullshit.
Yep. Yeah.
Because he uses the power of imagination.
I mean, pretty fucking close.
It wasn't full on arc, but pretty close.
Yeah, yeah. We get like every now and then Ultras do like some pretty like weird bullshit with their powers. Like Josh and I have seen the claw machine
Love the
ability
claw
too.
machine.
Yep.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yep. Or how Orb can shoot water out of his hands when he puts them together.
Flash.
That he does that in like one
Flash, he's
episode.
taking us. And
And
then we get
never
the
again.
best
Yep.
moment of this show.
It's fine.
We get the female kaiju.
Yep. We do get the
and
female
her
one.
glorious lashes.
Her glorious blue eyelashes.
A literally uncalled for sexual dimorphism.
Hey, she's fucking beautiful.
It's not at all what I was saying.
I mean, yeah.
I morphosize you.
Yeah, then we get the reveal that like
And
yeah. We also get like the conversation between Riku and Moa where she's like, I didn't really see what happened, so like,
Oopsie poopsie.
oops a daisies.
yeah, like her,
And
her,
you must really suck at selling insurance.
yep. Your job's really tough sounding, like having to deal with all the kaiju and everything. Like, I think it's kind of a cute way of them resolving it, where they're both like, "Yeah, I'll keep your secret, you'll keep mine."
Yeah.
You want to come back to my secret portal house?
And then they do their thing together. I really do love their relationship where like it's clear that they both care about each other and they have those like fun little things they do with each other. Like the writers knew how to sell a ship on this one.
And it's never touched again.
Yep, never once. She's gone for the rest of the show now.
He literally dies next episode.
hmm
And he has to, confine and manager.
Yep. Yeah, so that was our episode. Alex, well, Josh too, but both of you guys, where do you think that this is going now? Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Clearly, Riku and what's her name with the L?
Uh, Liha.
Leah. Clearly, they're gonna get together. and
Sure.
not the other way around.
Yep. Sure.
I don't know if the show's pushing us that way. I think pretty categorically it's not.
You don't know.
Uh,
You know
I think at this point, if it were me, it'd be time to start digging into the big bad.
We're getting pretty close to that. Yeah, we're a little bit
We
away
probably have
from.
to we probably have to figure out the AIB shit, but I think it's time to you could walk and chew bubble gum, as they say.
Well, I mean, we know the
Mhm.
big bad.
I mean, yeah, like,
Yeah, but more.
Belio Canto.
I mean, well, then start building him up.
We have already.
I mean,
Like six different seasons ago.
it was several movies, which at some point we will watch those. I actually kind of thought about watching those before we watched the show, but then I found out they're going to do a new release that Okratron is dubbing, and I thought that might be something you would want to wait to watch after the dub came out,
Yes.
because then it's just Sean Schemmel all the time.
I am here for it. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. I do feel a little. I don't feel bad about this, but it will mean that I'm going to have to buy these movies twice.
Man, how many times has that happened to us with different media sources? You
Yep.
know?
Yep.
When did you say
I
it was
own-
coming out?
It's supposed to come out later this year, I think.
Okay, I thought you said something more solid. Okay, that's
I own
hopefully we get some date soon.
5
Yeah.
different copies of the original Star Wars movies.
Oh, dude.
It might be 6
Oh.
actually.
You probably have me beat, but it's probably by 1. I think I've got 2 VHS versions.
Yep, same. I got 2
I've
different
got 2 DVD versions, and I've got the Blu-rays. And I think that's it. And I have if you count the fact that I have the despecialized editions, I have a 6 set.
Well, you beat me for that reason. Because that's just a better, superior version.
It is.
All right.
We
So
need to add scene 34 in.
we're going to cut this one off. Tune in next time for episode 11, The Geed Identity. I wonder what that's about.
Huh.
It's his.
It's about Jason
sexual
Bourne.
identity.
Yep.
It's about Jason Bourne.
Oh,
Let's just
100%.
leave it.
It's about Jason Bourne, yes. Anyway, tune
Oh
in
my
next
god,
time.
the villains are Biff.
What?
Okay, sure. Tune in next time. Bye-bye.
I didn't hear what